one that honestly almost nobody sees coming. We're talking about what to do when your own family, or maybe your oldest friends, secretly resent your success. Because let's be real, it is rarely a stranger's cruel words that actually sting the most, right? It's when the people sitting right there at your own dinner table are quietly rooting against your growth. So why do the people closest to you secretly want you to fail? If you've ever felt that super uncomfortable sting, when a friend completely deflates your good news with a backhanded compliment or a poorly disguised joke, listen to me, you are not being paranoid. We do this thing where we make excuses for them, but deep down, you feel it. It just doesn't make sense. Why would people who supposedly love you want you to stay exactly where you are? Well, tall poppy syndrome is actually the name for this. It's when your growth threatens others because it literally holds up a mirror to their own unfulfilled potential. The psychology here is honestly fascinating. Fun fact, our brains process this specific type of social friction in the exact same area where we process physical pain. So yeah, it literally hurts. When you rise above your old baseline, you suddenly become this mirror, forcing them to confront where they're stuck. They don't necessarily hate you. They just really dislike how your growth makes them feel about themselves. Let's compare true supporters and secret resenters for a second. Watch really closely what happens the next time you win. True supporters, they absolutely light up. Your win is their win. But secret resenters, they'll usually pause. They'll add a little deflating but to the end of their congratulations. And honestly, what's even more revealing is what happens when you fail. A secret resenter will suddenly get a little too calm, maybe a little too comfortable, and often you can just sense that they're a little bit relieved. So what does this all mean for you? Well, you have to watch out for the trap of exploding versus collapsing. Most people fall into one of these two camps. First, they explode. They create a ton of drama, which unfortunately just gives the resenter the proof they were looking for that you can't handle success. The second trap is collapsing. This is where you shrink back, you start second-guessing yourself, all just to keep the peace. But if you do that, they win twice. They keep you small, and you literally did all the heavy lifting for them. Okay, so here are the steps we're going to cover. Step 1, stop performing. Step 2, set emotional boundaries. Step 3, respond neutrally. And Step 4, redirect your energy. Instead of exploding or collapsing, you're going to execute this exact defense protocol. You're going to do the absolute last thing they saw coming. You are going to quietly and powerfully just continue your growth. Let's break these down. Step 1, stop performing for others. Look, it is completely natural to want to share your excitement with your inner circle. Of course it is. But sharing your wins before they are absolutely solid, that's dangerous, around people who are just waiting to plant seeds of doubt. You have to keep your unfinished work and your fragile dreams safe from their cold opinions. Those sacred things absolutely deserve protection. Moving on to Step 2, you need to set clear emotional boundaries, especially with family members who discourage your personal growth. This is tough, but you have to grieve the old dynamic. You kind of have to accept that some people really only liked you when you were struggling, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Feel that way, sure, but do not shrink yourself to fit back into their box. Remember, their comfort with you staying small was the actual betrayal here, not your growth. Step 3. Practice responding neutrally to discouraging comments to keep your growth plans private. When that totally sideways joke or that super unhelpful piece of advice comes your way, just absorb it. Do not react. Don't fight them, don't beg them to understand your side, and whatever you do, never seek their applause. Keeping your reactions completely neutral is basically a superpower. It protects your peace, and it keeps your future plans entirely off their radar. And Step 4, redirect energy to yourself. I want you to think of your daily energy a bit like a phone battery. If you completely drain your battery trying to prove yourself to people who are, let's face it, committed to misunderstanding you, you're going to have absolutely zero juice left for your actual goals. So stop trying to convince them. Protect your battery for your true supporters and your own work. Invest that energy deeply into yourself. Now, as you start doing this, your circle is probably going to get very quiet. And your brain, it might try to convince you that you made a huge mistake. Don't listen to it. That quiet is an emptiness. It's literally just you clearing out space for new people who actually match your new trajectory. Keep this quote in mind. The loneliness is temporary. The growth is permanent. Please hear this loud and clear. Your growth was never the problem. Actually, scratch that. Your growth was the solution. You just happened to grow in an environment that wasn't built to celebrate it. And remember, just because you have a long history with someone, that does not give them a free pass to limit your future. You owe absolutely no one a smaller version of yourself. No way. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought. When the people closest to you are secretly hoping you fall, the absolute most powerful thing you can do is just flat out refuse to. So here's my question to you. Will you choose the life you are building over the comfort of the life you are leaving? Think about that. Keep becoming exactly who you were meant to be.